Mask boy, you mean you didn't attend the previous trial of Maggie Bird? Maggie who? I got more important things to do than watching courtroom dramas. Of course. Well, perhaps you could give us your testimony then. Please tell us about what you did on the day of the murder. Huh. Phoenix Wright. You were the one who set this up, didn't you? You're gonna regret the day you ruffled the tiger's fur. Huh. You hear what I'm saying? I guess not. Is a link how the Brooklyn accent sounds like? Let's hear this. I can't act this out, but I try.
Are you ready?
Yeah. Water. Dog. Coffee.
Oh wow, this is like it's like okay, I see. So it's like long. It's like long words, okay? I don't know if I can. I can't I can't do this. There's no way. Maybe I should brought a diaper with me today. Good thing. Get a grip, Nick. The tiger's alibi. I don't know nothing about no murder. I was tied up with a business in December last year. Spent all of my time in my office. I got whales lined up to borrow cash from tender lender every single day. You the wanna check my alibi? Just ask Violetta. Violetta. Ah, at last, I found my pen. Very well then, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination. What is it? Please, witness, if you could refrain from shouting out like this. And now, the kind of games that guys in the blue plays. Okay. That lowlife ain't no lawyer. He just punches away at stupid details till he wins. Lowlife, me? Listen up, Smarty. Every time you ask me something that doesn't relate to this case, I'm gonna bill you $50,000 and you're gonna borrow the cash from me. Huh? Yeah, you raffle this. I don't know if you can raffle this, but you should be able to raffle this. If you are a follower, that is. And if you have enough points, that is. I don't know if you have enough points, but we can like fix this eventually. My girlfriend is looking into this. Why is there like no like each ticket costs? Period. Again, like I hate this. There should be like a prize to it, but I guess it's okay. So we will fix this for you. How many points? It doesn't say the cost. Yeah, it should say the cost, but it's okay. We just fix it for you. You can now raffle. Yep, you can now raffle. It's okay. We fixed it for you. It's 200. You start with 100 here, but you know, it's Keysmith, and if nobody else has like interest in chess, you can have it. It's okay for me. It's the last giveaway of the year. So, you know, I don't mind. And nobody else minds that. Yeah, streaming it's a little bit strange. I guess the message is too long. And don't think it ain't gonna hurt when you tangle with the tiger. Huh. Let's go. He's enjoying this. I love a good spectator spot. Yeah. Just a minute. That's really not... This witness is... How can I put it? A hungry tiger roaming the urban jungle. It's fixed. Yeah, it's fixed. Get on his bad side and he'll bite everyone's heads off. Yours too. So again, if you like, if you have questions for this thing we have this, and normally you can like vote on stuff what I play. Each month you can choose between three games I play the other month. The next period starts on the 1st of January and goes till the 28th. And you can, you know, choose between like 3 games. It will be Hollow Knight, Moonlighter, or Silver. Very well. I have no choice but to impose a penalty system here. You better be listening. I said I got business to take care of. Big business. If I don't split now, I ain't gonna catch my bus. Okay, good. The court will impose a penalty for any irrelevant pressing of witness testimony. Okay, interesting. Interesting. This is good, so we don't have to hear all this crap, huh? That's safe. Ah, wrong slot. It's okay. Okay. But we have to press. But we have to press. Okay. But we have to press. Added penalty to add artificial difficulty. Oh yeah. This is true. Yeah, this is true. Yeah, this is true. It's okay. Artificial difficulty is okay. So what do I want to press then? What I want to press then? I guess this. Are you sure about that? We're talking about 1 month ago, you know. You see these teeth? That's how sharp my secretary is. Sharp? She's talking about Violetta Cadaverini. She writes everything in my scheduler. December, mainly in the office. That's what it says. Oh, okay. That seems like a rather sketchy schedule. Press harder. Mr. Tigre. What you the one? If you wouldn't mind going into a bit more detail. This is a dead end, right? And you know it. Remember the rules. I smack tables here, you scum! No, it's essential that we establish the witness's alibi accurately. I agree. I agree. The victim was killed on December 3rd. Were you in the office that day too? Maybe you ain't listening. Of course I was. I never set foot outside. Had meetings all day with a bunch of cats waiting to do business with me. I'd never seen that young kid before. I do believe the witness's last statement was important. Mr. Godu, if you could please... Mr. Tigre? The court asked you to add that last statement to your testimony. Okay. Okay. The day you were talking about, I was in the office too. I never saw that kid before. I guess this is an easy one then, huh? He doesn't know the witnesses, but I have proof that he knows the witness because I have this. Good. See? I'm a good lawyer boy. I'm a good lawyer boy. Mr. Tigre, you claim you didn't know Mr. Glenn Ilg. But it appears that Mr. Ilg knows you. What? Mr. Ilg left this little note on his calendar. Meet with the tiger and the date? December 3rd. December 3rd? That's the day of the murder. Of the murder. So, Mr. Tigre, I submit that you did indeed know one Mr. Glenn Ilg. Because on the very day of the incident, you met with him. Okay, now he's laughing. Not bad. User actually not bad. Sorry? I was just messing with User to see how good you were. Did you hear that, Nick? He said you're not bad. There's one compliment I can't do without. Plus, he's lying through his teeth. Well, witness. Please remember that you're on the road. Lies will not be tolerated. You're calling me a liar? Is that what you're doing? Okay. So you're saying that your claim to have never seen that kid before is the truth. I said I'm dead serious. You better believe that's the truth. Huh. Let's say that gives me time to enjoy another cup of pure black magic. Akio, more coffee. He admits that he is like doing magic to like make coffee appear. Did you see that? He said it himself. Witchcraft. That is why you'd why you testify for the court again, Mr. Tigger. Oh yeah, would you mind indulging the court witness? Never actually met the victim. That's got to be a lie right there. It's time I nailed this guy. Let's nail him. Let's nail him good. The victim, Glenealg. I ain't no liar. I never met Glenealg. There was some lame guy with that name though, wanted to borrow cash from me. I set up a meeting with the guy at my office, Tenderlender. I waited around for him, but he ain't never showed. I ain't never even been to that Tribulations joint user here. Okay, let's do science again. We're doing the fast pass to hell for this guy. I see. That all seems perfectly logical. He had arranged to meet with the victim, but he didn't show up. I've heard it's pretty hard to keep appointments when you're dead. Very well. You may begin your cross-examination. Let's try the fast pass to hell again. I ain't gonna make my bus now. I'm gonna have to take the express train. That bill's going straight to you, right? Go. Witchcraft. What? You're asking me witchcraft? The good craftsmanship. So, as we know, this is clearly a lie. This is clearly a lie. This is clearly a lie. And I just fast passed this now. Let's go. Mr. Tigre, is there something you'd like to tell the court about these matches? Matches? What are you talking about? We found them in your office at Tenderlender. They're from that restaurant. But if you've really never been to Tribulations before, what was a book of the restaurant's matches doing on your desk? You've been snooping around in my stuff now too, wise guy? What are you, my ball and chain? Ain't no board controlling me. Order. Well, witness, I think it's time you started telling us the truth, don't you? I'm sorry, I'm terribly sorry, forgive me. I ain't no pussycat. What, you see, yeah, I don't know, maybe. I don't go back on what I said. But okay, I was at the joint that day. What? Oh, listen good, alright. Might have been there, but I still never met that kid. Well, well. Yeah, he could have just said that, you know, the matches are from the girl, right? Looks like an order just came in looks like an order just came in for another testimony. See how fast passing? No, this weird like pressing shit. We don't need that. We're fast passing him into hell now. I'm this close to proving it was him. He did meet Glenealg that day, and he did put poison in his coffee. He must have. At Tribulations, I was supposed to meet with the kid at the restaurant after that afternoon. When I opened the door to the joint, I saw one ugly scene. The guy was laid out over the table, stiff as concrete. I figured if the place wasn't hot already, it was gonna be, so I split. I heard the cop sirens on my way out, and I went straight back to my office. I see. You didn't actually meet with him in the end, then. Well, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please. Hold it! If I wait around here any longer, I ain't even gonna make the normal express. No more stupid questions. I guess I didn't had a question before. No problem. I'll give you more coffee. Witchcraft! Anytime Wright presses you on something irrelevant, I'll see he pays a penalty. To go do, that's my job. Your job is to slam that little hammer of yours and call a guilty verdict. So do it. Yes, sir. The special express ain't cheap, right? Just so you'll know, since you're paying. You're paying? Oh man, doesn't the rule of law means anything around here? No. and the rule of logic and reasoning does not even, you know. Forget about this shit. We don't need that here. Let's see what we have here. Let's see what we have here. I don't know if I have to press something. I guess if I would press something, I would press this or the last thing. Let's try this. An ugly scene. What do you mean? I guess this is penalty now. Yeah. Listen to your heart. Yeah, I guess. I limit myself to 17 cups of coffee during a trial. That's the rule. You better limit the number of times you take a penalty trial. Don't make me burn you again. You shush now. Let's try this. You went straight back. Did a bout of guilt suddenly hit you for what you did? What are you trying to say? You trying to tell me you ain't never been guilty of nothing? We all have our crosses to bear. We all have to swallow the dark secrets we hide. Like this! Sexy. God damn it. The courtroom's not exactly the place to talk about dark secret, isn't it? It seems you have done it again, Mr. Wright. Another irrelevant line of questioning. Ow! Ow, you fool! We need to press him. We need to press him. The sexiest character appears in the next case? Okay. I guess I die now. You mean you saw Glenn Eel's dead body? I guess I did, but I only saw him from behind. He was wearing some raggy bit of cloth he called a hat. What time was this? I don't know. Huh? You know what that winds me up more than anything else in the world? Watches. I ain't gonna pollute my paws with some ticking hat packers. Out of interest, Mr. Tigre, what wins? What winds you up the second most? Huh? What are you thinking? Square watches. Look, all I need to know was that something bad was going down in the place. But I could press this, okay? So you didn't actually set foot inside the restaurant then. The tiger is a busy cat. I don't hang around for no one. I ain't got time to be caught up in no murder investigation. So when exactly did you pick up the matches? There are matches just inside the front door. Our detective friend wound up in trouble with the chef after taking 5 books home. Poor Gumshoe. Almost enough to make a man cry. So the meeting wasn't due to take place at Tenderlender at all then. The kid was making a fuss about coming into the office. It's always that way when I want to talk about repayments. Even though I got the best punching bag you ever seen, if there are any issues. Maybe it's because of the punching bag that people are scared to come. So, that's why you decided to meet at Tribulations. Ah. You're going over old ground again, Wright. Sorry. What? What? Hey! No! You fools! You foolish fools of foolishness! I hate all of you! What? Okay, we have to contradict something then. But what? I guess that he couldn't see him without entering this shit. Yeah, I'd try this. You know. Yeah. You're something of a loan collecting pro, aren't you, Mr. Tigre? No one escaped the tiger's clutches. Well, I'm something of a lie detecting pro. You might see him through the window. And no one escaped the Phoenix's clutch. I think it's time we got something straight. What's this, right? A new line of irrelevant questioning? There are the floor plans of the crime scene. You said you were standing at the entrance, Mr. Tigre. From there, your field of vision would have covered an area something like this. Indeed, the witness would have had a clear view of the victim's seat. Isn't that what I just said? I saw the back of the kid's head. Unfortunately for you, that is not possible. If the court would think back, you'll remember that between each of the tables is a tall partition. Why, that's true. Now look at the plans again. The truth is painful, obviously. From the entrance, the field of vision of any customer walking in ends here. At the wall. And now he is sweating. So from the entrance of Tribulations, you couldn't have seen the victim's seat, but you did see the victim that day because you met with him. Wrong. Have you forgotten the old man's testimony yesterday? The victim was alone at the table. But the defense just proved that point of the to be moot. Moot? The victim witnessed by Mr. Kudo was not Glen Eelk, but a fake. What? In order to have Mr. Kudo falsely testify, the real killer posed as the victim he had just killed and acted out a charade. You know, as you do. That will do. This trial has gone on long enough without the obvious question being answered. Who exactly was this real killer who impersonated the victim? You say the killer murdered Glenelg, and then impersonated his victim in a performance for Victor Kudo. Sorry. In the case, Mr. Wright, reveal the identity of the criminal to the court. I guess it's him? Obviously, the killer is Furio Tigre, whatever. No one else could have done it. What? Well, witness? Now that's cute. You really think you can pin this on the tiger? Maybe you don't understand. The tiger is king of the jungle. So I dare you say it again. Come on! You got the guts. You can't threaten me, Mr. Tiger. It's the defense. It's the defense. Go ahead and tell the witness, Mr. Wright. Mr. Wright! Sounds to me like it must be you, old man. You the good guts. I'll give you that. Mr. Wright, do not leave me to handle this alone. Perhaps I can end this embarrassment. To go do. Fuck your coffee. Let's just go back over Mr. Kudo's testimony one more time. The old man didn't see just the victim. Oh no. The serving girl brought him Giavacino. Oh, I clicked this away, goddammit. The fact remains, he saw the accused put the poison into the coffee. Yeah, it was the waitress who poisoned the coffee. Very impressive, Mr. Godo. Waiting for my abstinence to launch your attack. Huh. This is like a joke. Found your pen at last, right? It was in my pocket. But anyway, Mr. Kudo witnessed two people that day. He saw the victim, the supposed Mr. Glenelg, and the waitress from behind. Yes, your point, Mr. Wright? I think the conclusion is obvious. If this Glenelg was really the killer in disguise, then surely it's possible the waitress was also part of the show. What? You mean the waitress was an imposter as well? The defendant, Miss Bird, fell unconscious immediately after the incident. And someone used her fainting to hatch an elaborate plan to pin the murder on her. Who on earth was it? Who was the waitress? It was this guy. Who is this woman? Her name is Viola Cadaverini. She's an employee of Tenda Lenda. You was making a big mistake. Do you know who Violetta's grandfather is? You better be going home in an emerald ruck tonight, if you know what I mean. Stop shaking, Nick. Where was I? Yes, the defendant, Miss Bird, has stated the following. Well, when I took the coffee over to the victim's table, it's true there was another customer in the restaurant. She was sort of creepy, and she had a kind of crackling laugh. There are just too many contradictions in this case. The second man on the victim's table, who nobody but Miss Bird seemed to have seen. The earpiece worn by the victim in his left ear when that eardrum was ruptured. And the radio show he was supposedly listened to half an hour after it was over. There is only one logical explanation that clears up all of those contradictions. The whole incident took place twice. Once for real and once for show. And Mr. Furio Tigre, only person who could have committed the crime, is you. Witness. What have you got to say? That's cute. Sorry? He was alright. I could do with a guy like you around. What do you mean? Okay, I'm in on this game. I'm gonna have to charter a jet to get me to my meeting now, but I'm gonna give you the one more thing to think about before I go. Maybe I should save now. You know, just in case. Something to think about. Yuzu got it all wrapped up nice, alright. But Yuzu missed out one real important thing. But that can't be. I was in the joint that day, and I met that kid too. But I couldn't have poisoned him, Yuzu here. What, do you really expect us to believe you now, Mr. Tiger? Ha! What a troublemaker. Troublemaker? Akio coffee! Looks like we're going to need another one for the road. He's like drinking too much coffee, dude. One more steaming cup of hot testimony. Indeed. Witness, you will explain yourself to the court. I will give you one more chance to testify. You know, one more chance. I guess we're like getting like 15 more like testimonies when we like not wrap this up like in the next 5 seconds. What happened that day at Tribulations between yourself and the victim? Ties to the victim. Yeah, I loaned Ilk cash, about $100,000. That day, he was due to have a little chat. The kid had hit his payback. Date. See. So anyway, he tells me he's got no way to pay up. I'm about to flatten the guy when he starts screaming. Yeah, I won $500,000. He got lucky, you know, real lucky. If that waitress hadn't done what she's done, everything would have been over. Now, I see that the principal amount you loaned to Mr. Ilg was $50,000. Yeah, well, you got the Vig to take into account. Interest builds up fast, you know. It's faster than fast. $100,000 is twice. And the repayment deadline was December 3rd, the day of the incident in question. Yeah, he was one lucky kid. He got that $500,000 just in time. So I ain't having no reason to kill the kid. And if I ain't got no motive, you ain't got no case. This motive, huh? He has to have one, but what is it? A motive. Can I like press him now, or like will this hurt me again? You know, the big question. I mean, I only have one life left, so. Waitress, you mean? The girl with the glasses in the defendant's chair. Who else could I mean? If she hadn't gone the way, things would have been bada bing bada boom, over and done with. Maybe I should push a little on this. Ask how things would have been. What do you mean things would have been over and done with? Are you all there or what? I'm talking about the cash. I wasn't there to get my $100,000 back. That's all. I'm a businessman. It was all coming together before that waitress got in the way. As far as I can tell from the witness's testimony, other than recouping his law, Mr. Tiger had no motive for killing the victim. Witness, you will amend your testimony to reflect what you just said. I was after the 100,000. I didn't have no reason to kill this guy. Okay, good. Are you saying you had no other motive that day? Yeah, so what? Then, why didn't you take the lottery ticket when you left? What do you think? Because of 4 eyes? Because of 4 eyes over there? Because of Maggie? How about you ask 4 eyes about that $500,000 ticket? She wanted it so bad. She poisoned Eelk's coffee. A likely theory. Your word wasn't held water lately, Mr. Tiger. Mr. Tigre. Let's not forget this witness was actually at the scene, Wright. The law doesn't exactly agree with some of the deals I sent down. I couldn't be there when the cops showed up, so it split. I see. Your Honor. The witness's last few statements are worth a good 2 cups of coffee. Well, Mr. Wright, are you happy with the testimony? Yeah, I want it. I'm not going to get away with the testimony as it stands. Your Honor, the defense would like to like the testimony amended. Very well. Witness, you will amend your testimony to reflect your recent statements, please. The Tiger's trying to pin the crime on Maggie. If I ask him about what he saw, it's only going to damage our case. What do you mean things would have been over and done with? Talking about the cash. Okay. Okay. If you had just given him the lottery ticket, that would have been the end of it. Yeah, so what's the Tiger's motive? This is the big one. If I don't manage to undermine his testimony... Okay. Why would he have to poison him? And why did he loan him the money in the first place, when he knew he couldn't repay him? So, is this like a... Can I press things now, or can I not press things now? This is like a weird situation I'm in right now. Let's see if I have something. We have the lottery ticket, for sure. We have the CD, but I don't know if we want to talk about that. Oh! What? And you think you can press freely? Yeah, I don't know why this testimony just changed, so this is interesting. And let's just give him the other reason, I guess. Yeah. So you just intended to get back the $100,000 Mr. Eelk owned you, correct? I loaned the guy the cash. This was weird, like I never had this before, that I can like change what he was saying. This was a weird thing. I was like, where is the statement about the 100k? Like, where? I loaned the guy the cash, and it was like so explicit that he like, you know, oh, I don't have anything to do. But that's my right. Unfortunately for Mr. Eelk, I don't believe the $100 is what you were really after. What are you getting at, Wright? What else would a moneylender be after other than money? Oh, the moneylender was after money, but money in a total different league. The kind of money that a single disc like this would fetch. What is that? A computer virus, Your Honor. A virus called MacBomber. Computer virus. What does one of those do? A computer virus is a program that that wreaks havocs on the inside of a computer. A computer? What does one of those do? I guess the beard isn't the only part of His Honor that is from the Stone Age. I'll explain it to you later, Your Honor. Right now, this is an important point. A virus like MC Bomber would be worth several $1 million on the black market. Several $1 million? Lending money with no hope of ever seeing repayment would normally be bad for the business. But in this case, the very fact that Glenn Ealk had no way to repay the money is crucial. What? Glenn Ealk was a programmer, a highly skilled programmer. That skill was that the collateral Mr. Ealk put up in order to borrow the money.
Objection!
You're trying to suggest the witness's motive was to get hold of that program. Exactly. A witness may have poor fashion sense, but he is by no means an idiot, right? A man like him could get his hands on $1 million without resorting to murder. Of course he could. Provided that he had time. But what if he had needed... the money right then? When the pressure is on, the luxury of choice tends to disappear. It seems you have a logical conclusion for this theory, Mr. White. Would you care to share it with us? Yeah, I guess I save beforehand and then we can do that. Let's do it. Why did Mr. Tiger need money? I guess we go on with this now. Yeah. In December of last year, you found yourself in need of a huge amount of money. About 6 months ago, you were involved in a traffic accident, weren't you? An accident involving a car and a scooter in which a young woman was injured. She was taken to the hospital where she underwent surgery. How muchos días you do the know? You know, the medical papers document the treatment of the young woman in question. According to these, the operation cost $1 million, and yet when the payment was due last month, you somehow managed to pay it in full. $1 million, a perpetuous sum. Someone should sue those HMOs. Huh, no one would pay a bill like that. If the medical association got wind of it, the hospital would end up as dead as a morgue. But Mr. Tigre had no choice but to pay, because his very life depended on it. Meow. Meow. Order! You say his life depended on it, Mr. Wright. Indeed it did, simply because the injured woman was none other than Viola Cadaverini. Sure wish healthcare was more affordable. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Like, if I be real here for a second, like, I don't know why the country is not like going for this. Like, again, don't you want like healthy people? I guess. So I don't know. Like healthcare is weird. Healthcare is super weird. Like, I would imagine as a country you want like healthy people which can work, right? Which can work and like earn money to, you know, for taxes, I guess. So I guess there would be like, you know, interest in having healthy people. Did you say Cadaverini? Cadaverini! Bruto Cadaverini, mob boss in charge of all underworld activities in the city and doting grandfather to his precious Violetta, also known as Viola Cadaverini. Your life was in danger unless you paid compensation to the boss, correct? Makes sense. You were desperate to acquire the $1 million Bruto Cadaverini demanded for you. So desperate, in fact, that you decided to sacrifice Glenn's life to pay your debt. On the day of the murder, Mr. Tiger's sole intention was to get his hands on this CD. Glenn Ealk had no way of paying back the 100k, and Mr. Tigre knew that. But then a miracle happened. The kid, the kind that The kind that Mr. Tiger would prefer to say never happened. But he can't, and neither can I. A lottery win. I once heard of a European that was surprised to what degree it was okay not to care about other people's well-being in the US. Huh. Weird. Yeah, I mean, like, for me as a German person, like, we have, like, healthcare from the state. It's not, like, full paid healthcare, but it's a good portion of, like, paid healthcare, like for medication, for like operations, for anything vital, and you know, anything like this. It's like it basically costs nothing for us. So yeah, so again, like, yeah, it's like, I don't know, like for me it's not okay. It's like not okay to not care about people. Like, I don't know, like, I would think, like, for me it's like if you go to a freaking hospital, you have something, you go there, and there will be, and if you have something, in, I don't know, like, more than 80% of the cases, I'm like a healthy boy, I don't know that, and I had no cases in my family so far, like, there would be no charges at all. Yet you wouldn't pay a cent. So, and I want to believe, but I know this is not the case. I want to believe this is everywhere like this, but it's not. And this is like sad. So I feel like it's super sad that it's like, you know, the well-being of people is like super important. Like, if you're healthy, like, you know, like a normal person, this is okay. But what if your like daughter gets like ill, or what if like your wife gets ill, or your mom gets ill, and you have to pay like a huge amount of nothingness to save a life? You would do that, I know, but you would you would pay every dollar. But it's like, I don't know, it's like I can't like explain it in English, so I will not try it. It's like yeah, it's complicated. Yeah, this is true. This is true, yeah, this is true. Yeah, some European countries are so great, like in some European countries you get like everything. And in and like, again, in Germany you get like a good portion of it, yes. Yeah, I know. Like, I don't know, but I know that this is not true, but I heard some people in America believe this is like another hint of freedom thing. So you are not like bound to a health insurance like we are, like all Germans are like bound to a health insurance and bound to taxes. But you know, if we are not ill, we still pay them so other people can have this health, you know. So we basically pay for other people too, and so yeah, I guess this is like the when I don't get ill, then I don't need to pay. So this is my freedom to do or to not do, and I have to care about myself to like put enough money on the shelf to like can afford it when it happens. I don't know, like it's a weird like thing. I would, you know, I can't explain it, and I have no like experience. I never lived in America, and I never had like strong bonds or contacts to people that lived there that had problems. So I have no experience whatsoever. I can only tell you, here in Germany it's like, it's good, like the health insurance is super good. Like, it's not the best in Europe, but it's certainly up there. Like, yeah, this is true. Yeah, this is true too. Best surgery, exactly. At the 11th hour. At the 11th hour, Mr. Eelk won $500,000 at the lottery, which left Mr. Tigre with no way of getting his hand on the all-important CD, at least no legitimate way. Ah, look at this. So we resorted to illegitimate means. That's crazy. He murdered Glen Eilg and then made his next move to frame Maggie Bird for the crime. Mr. Tigre posed as Glen Eilg, while Viola Cadavarini played the role of Miss Bird. Das hier vom Namen? Chestnuts, right? In English? Walnüsse? So good, like real chestnuts, not from a store, from an actual tree. God damn it. Walnut, oh sorry, walnut. Real walnuts from real... No, not a chestnut, no, a walnut. And then they reenacted the whole thing in order to establish a witness. The witness being the one we all heard testifying yesterday, Mr. Victor Kudo. Like I said, Wright, that's crazy. No one could pull off a stunt like that. For starters, there is no way the chef could have been kept in the dark about it. But Mr. Armstrong was on it from the very beginning. Have you forgotten already, Mr. Godu? Mr. Armstrong owned the witness money too, $500,000 in fact. He had no choice but to go along with Mr. Tigre's plan. Can this end now? Like for real? You put a good show on. You put on a good show, Spiky. If you want to stay alive in the loan shark business, you gotta be careful. Yeah, that's true, yeah. You're the saying I dressed up like that kid, created a witness and framed someone. If I did something crazy like that, I'd leave a trail as bright as my shirt. I ain't dumb enough to do something sloppy like that. I agree. You do? Despite your appearance, you are very careful. That's why you took one more precaution. One more trick to make sure Miss Bird had no way out. But another one, Mr. Wright. Another one. And another one. Interesting. Why doesn't you fill us all in? What was that trick? You say Mr. Tigre performed to frame the accursed. I guess we're doing a lottery ticket now? Knife. Oh! How do I do this? Oh! Oh yeah! This is interesting now. Yeah, I show the magazine clipping. I guess we never talked about that, you know, that he like was impersonating me too. Let's try this. I guess I die now. Am I dead? And? What's the relevance of that tried? It's just a little intro. An intro into what? It seems all this has been a... Yeah, my girlfriend killed me again. She killed me again. I mean, try pressing the phony badge. Yeah, I guess this is the better way, huh? Because, you know, my character is not that good at words, I guess. Oh my god, I saved so late. Okay, let's go. Yeah, like, the game's like, ha! You fool! And but the waiting was like tense, like he you know, to rank up all, and he drank up, so the pause was good. It was a good pause. Look how much like I did. Look how much I did. I solved this. I guess it's the fake badge, huh? Bling bling bling. You know, just a little seasoning in the coffee. Ding.
Objection.
Wow, I did things. Yeah, I guess, yeah. I was like, yeah, you know, you frame her. you put all on everything in her pocket, but I guess, we're doing this? Let's try to die here. Save? No. Wrong. What on earth is that? What an insult of thinking anyone could be fooled by such a childish imitation. Consider yourself insulted, Your Honor. Yeah, you fool. Mr. Tiger, you didn't just pose as the victim on the day in question. A month ago, in this very court, you posed as me. You know, that's the truth. But the witness looks nothing like you, Mr. Wright. Oh! Oh! I know! I know! Although, now that I think about it, it was you, wasn't it? No doubt it was you, standing in here this very court a mere month ago. The Phoenix Wright who put up the most disreputable shabby defense I had ever seen. Can you prove that, Gramps? Prove that the attorney who presented the accursed here a month ago was this man. Are you prepared to take the stand and testify that it was him? Hey. Forget about it, eh? I wouldn't do something like that. Not me. You made a mistake, right? It was someone else, huh? Have you no pride, sir? I guess not, because he... Akio coffee. Oh, this is like... This isn't a matter of pride. In case you didn't know, Wright, here in court, we deal with people's lives. You know, yeah, this is why you should maybe check the backgrounds of the people that are in defense things and all that crap. Mr. Godo is right, Your Honor. Speaking of for myself, I'm absolutely convinced the attorney in question was the witness standing before me now. However, I preside over this cause as the judge, with the vested power to hand down a verdict. Someone in my position cannot be swayed by a memory without evidence to support it. Are you stupid? If the defense has no further evidence, the court will now excuse the witness. Like, blow sand in my pockets and call me gravekeeper. What is going on here? Like, huh? What? Like, Sons of the Pharaoh. This is like the no. Like what? The circumstances surrounding Mr. Tiger are dubious for sure, but not conclusive. Honestly, a paper badge is a weak piece of evidence? Yeah, I know, because you can rip it apart. I know that it is weak, but we've come so far. You say he impersonated Glenn Elk. You say he impersonated you. But not, and he was impersonating you too. He was the prosecution also. He was like changing in court, running to the other side, shouting objections, running to the other side again, changing while doing this, shouting objections in the other side, you know, on the like other side of the court. He slapped table, changed and run to the other side, slammed the table, run back and was changing, and everyone was like, yeah, this is the prosecutor, and yeah, this is the defense attorney, and he was like, he had a fake beard too, he was the judge too. Oh my god, dude. But none of that adds up to a murder charge. You don't have a shred of evidence the witness poisoned the victim's coffee. Maybe, like, you know, the guy could maybe run in. Stressful day, yes. Ha! Sucks to be you, Wright. Don't mess with the tiger, or you're gonna be mauled. You got that? Like playing tennis against yourself, yeah. All we managed to do here was chase him around a bit. But I was so close to getting him to admit his own guilt. I would love to be in this court. Like, you would never be, you know, you would never get a guilty verdict. You could just say, no, it wasn't me. And every other man is lying, and every other piece of evidence is lying too. Oh wait, no, this is not true. Yeah, I lied a little bit, but I didn't do it. Period. Like, oh god, the logic sometimes is so lacking. Blah. Looks like I won't be needing a refill. Where's Gumshoe when I need him? If I just had one more piece of evidence, maybe I could get Maggie off the hook. This witness's cross-examination is over. You are free to go, Mr. Tiger. Yeah, you know. Like, yeah, what, you know. Hold it there, Gumshoe. Finally. Your Honor, sir. Wait! Detective Gumshoe. Sorry it took so long, pal. I staked everything on this. My badge, the works. So here it is. My heart's counting on this. My heart's counting on this too. What is it, detective? Is it obvious, pal? It's the final decisive piece of evidence. Nani? Do we have to do more now? Sorry it took so long, pal, but I finally got the results from the lab. The results. About the prince, pal, from the medicine bottle. Oh, so do you know who the prince belonged to now? Do you think I'm some kind of hack detective? Of course I know. So tell us. They're the tigers, right? I knew it. You bet. Clear as crystal all over the bottle. They're Furio Tiger's paws prints. Alright. That's great. We've got him now, Nick. No. Actually not. We don't have him. We don't have him. Like, this is the medicine bottle. Like, this is... I guess... This is like a bad ending scenario now? Because, yeah, the fingerprints are on the bottle of medicine. So what? This is not poison. What's wrong with you? You hardly said a word since Detective Gumshoe got here. I know. Look, I'm sorry. This is kinda hard to say, but it really doesn't make any difference whose prints are on the bottle now, yeah? Huh? What? Why not? What we need to produce at this stage in the trial is irrefutable evidence that the tiger put poison in Glenn Eelk's coffee. He's already admitted that he met the victim. The fact that his prints are on this bottle That really doesn't make any difference now. Yeah, I guess I have a bad case now? Knew it. Great. No matter how hard I try, I never... What? So there was a choice then. This was our last chance to help Maggie, and I've been working on some useless piece of evidence the whole time. It's alright. I'm a real loser. It's not breaking news to me, pal. Detective Gumshoe? Maggie? You've been working on something for me? Sorry I let you down, Maggie. I know you didn't do it. And I'm a detective. We're supposed to be able to prove stuff like that. I'm really sorry. Detective Gumshoe, wait! He's gone. Isn't there anything we can do now, Nick? I wish there was. Gumshoe worked so hard on that evidence. If only there was some way I could use it. I mean... Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. I granted you I granted you a recess so you could prepare this decisive evidence you've discovered. Oh yeah. Aki or more coffee. Don't keep us all in suspense, Wright. Show us. Naturally, we can assume this evidence that will actually stand up in court, can we? Think, Phoenix. Don't let Gumshoe's hard work go to waste. How much more of my time are you gonna waste? I ain't been to no court before, but you the lawyers sure know how to blow things out of proportion. No doubt, given the nature of the evidence, it will speak for itself. I save now. Maybe I can do something wrong here. Nevertheless, you will talk us through it, Mr. Wright. Yeah, it's the old investigation music. It's the better investigation music, I guess. Well, I know I can prove anything new with this evidence. I'm really backed into a corner here. But maybe if he thinks he's got me beat, he'll let his guard down a bit. Don't keep us waiting any longer, Mr. Wright. Present this final decisive piece of evidence to the court. I'm sorry, what? I guess I should show it now. I'm allergic to use this evidence. This is true, yes. This is a defense trial piece. This is the defense's final piece of evidence. Isn't that the victim's? Your Honor. Naturally, the court is already aware of the contents of this bottle. However, interesting new information has come to light. We have clearly identified some fingerprints on it. Fingerprints belonging to you, Mr. Tiger. What? But Mr. Wright, what conclusion are you hoping to draw from this new information? Everyone here knows that this bottle contains... Except one man. One person in this courtroom should theoretically be in the dark. My prints are on that pansy-looking bottle. Is that what you were saying? Well, what the hell's in it anyway? Poison. A phony trial, a phony lawyer, and a phony clues. Everything about this case has been phony. Seems like the perfect excuse for some phony evidence. Yeah. Mr. Tiger, this is the decisive piece of evidence that will prove your guilt. Why? Because it contains... clowns! It contains silly clowns! Let's go. This bottle contains potassium cyanide. Potassium cyanide? The poison used to murder Mr. Eelk, Your Honor. The victim's killer used this very bottle. And one of this bottle, Mr. Tiger, we found... on this bottle, Mr. Tiger, we found your fingerprints. Well, how do you explain that? Good man. See? Good. See, silly clowns are on. You make a good clown, you know that? What? User ain't never gonna get this to stick. User just making me laugh now. You think a cheap bluff like that's gonna fool the tiger? Bluff? I can see straight through you, Phoenix Wright. That ain't the bottle with the cyanide in it. Oh, this is good. Yeah, this is good because he knows how the bottle looks like, I guess. No, this isn't the bottle we found traces of the poison in. Don't mess with the tiger, or you're gonna get ripped to shreds. The cyanide bottle was brown, and it was made of glass. That cheap piece of trash don't look nothing like it. I guess we don't have to do anything now. It's like, fuck. Easy. Yeah. Like we should have pulled a freaking poster of an anime girl. Oh yeah, and by the way, this is your mom. And he's like, this is not my mom, and he's like spilling all the beans, easy. Got him. What? Why is everyone gonna quiet? I said the bottle. Is this the bottle you're referring to? Yeah, that's it. That's the bottle the cyanide was in. But yous ain't gonna find my prints on that bottle. Don't let that crazy looking suit fool you people. That lawyer's just playing games. Tell him, Mr. Prosecutor. Tell that guy where to go. You still haven't figured it out? Don't you realize what you just said? You don't know why he's not saying anything? Why should he say anything? Against it? You mean that I lied about the poison? What I said? What did I just say? You were summoned to this court for the first time earlier today. If you really had nothing to do with the murder, you shouldn't have known all the little details. For instance, you shouldn't have known what kind of bottle the potassium cyanide was in. But just now you slipped up in front of every single person in the courtroom. You described the exact bottle used by the killer to hold the poison. Could he not just say now? I mean, like... Yeah, this is one point. You're right. This is one point. But the other point is... I mean, go do... I think like Godu is not a bad person, so I guess he knew that like the tiger is like super like lying. But now, why we talked about this in the freaking mask trial. Why is the tiger not pulling this? Let me get my set ready. You know, guys, I'm sorry. I was the phony lawyer a month ago, and this is why I knew about the bottle. Boom. Oh yeah, get me into jail because I tricked the court in thinking that I was a lawyer. Fuck it. The bottle was a piece of evidence in the trial 1 month ago. He know about this. He would like, fuck it. He good. He never did murder. Make it go to jail. Bop, end it. The end. Right? Yeah, he's dumb. Yeah, this is true too. User don't know who you're messing with. I'm the tiger. I control millions of dollars on the black market. You think I'm gonna let some jumped up suit get the better of me? Sure, the last piece of evidence was phony, but that's just what you deserve. A phony trial with a phony lawyer. It was all played out by you, the biggest phony of all. Yeah, this is true, but again, we established this. Okay, I guess we have this scene for 2 seconds now. We established this in the last case of the second game. It's not about winning or losing. because Godu wins or loses nothing, but it's about the truth. So I guess he let it happen because it's not about winning, and Godu would know that. You know, like, we established that, and I guess this is like a rule now. We are going for the truth. So yeah, he will defend the witnesses, but only to an extent, right? Only to an extent. But if you have like all these like things that don't add up, Godu is a new prosecutor for this game. Yeah, but this is not the. But what has his like to be new to do with? He's not. He was undefeated. He was undefeated in the last case too. What has the Godu as a new prosecutor to do with the game making the rule? It's about the truth. So only because he is new established, that doesn't mean that the rules are changed for him, right? And he's not he's like not a bad guy. He's like a prosecutor. It looks like a blackout. Ouch. Uh-oh. Well, don't. Well done, Wright. The man is gone. I saved my 17th cup of coffee just for now. Oh, good. I am assuming that he is mainly looking for the truth instead of looking for the guilty verdict. No, this is not assuming. This is the game established this in the last game. We have this huge case where the game is like, yo, we're going for the truth now, and everyone knows this. Period. So the game itself explained this rule. So regardless of the new prosecution, this rule applies. This rule applies now. It would not make sense if we have a prosecutor now who's like, yo, fuck the truth, yo. He is innocent. You have nothing to do. You know, they would not do that. This would be like against their own game and against their own like feel for the game. Yeah, it would be all the same again. It would be like, yeah, you know, it's about winning the trial. It's about winning something over someone, and you would repeat this, yeah. No. This is a rule for the game now, because it would make no sense otherwise. It would make no sense otherwise. Again, you're right. Like, every prosecutor is like, their job is to make sure that the witnesses get protected to an extent, but the weight on the tiger was so heavy. If the prosecutor is like defending that, the prosecutor will make himself like a target too for the court, right? Because he will cover up like major crimes, and he will get a verdict down that is clearly wrong. In the trial a month ago, why Bird was guilty was because the defense didn't go down the road of finding the truth. It was like, yeah, you know, he was the you know, the imposter was not like protecting the witness or protecting the truth, or like, you know. So as long as you don't fight at court, yeah, one side will win, right? Without hard evidence, or without like going down the road. While you watch the police restrain your prey. Good. So he's dead now. She's okay now, Mr. Wright. You caught a tiger by his toe, but if this one hollers, he won't be let go. Now then, how are things going with Mr. Tigre, Mr. Godu? He's been arrested on suspicion of the murder of Glen Eel, Your Honor. Of the suspicion? Okay. Fortunately for us, we managed to rectify a very grave error. Miss Bird was found guilty in the absence of a genuine of a genuine defense attorney. Yes, she was. And in the absence of genuine evidence. See? But the tiger made one mistake. Indeed. He very nearly got away with everything if it wasn't for that one slip of the tongue. Your tiger is a truly frightening criminal. Huh. The truly frightening one is the defense attorney over there. Go do. Well, I am now in a position to deliver my verdict. This court finds the defendant, Maggie Bird, not guilty. Good. Yay! Finally, good news. And she shall wear this outfit until she dies. This is all. This court is adjourned. See? Mr. Wright, I'm at a loss for words. Thank you, sir. Congratulations, Maggie. I was so mad when Mr. Wright landed me in all the trouble a month ago. But now I feel like I can't forgive him. Hey, that wasn't me, Maggie. That was the tiger. Look, Nick, in the doorway. Detective Gumshoe? Oh, I guess I'll be heading off then. Wait! God damn it! Detective Gumshoe. Oh yeah. Congratulations, Maggie. Thanks. Awkward silence. I knew you were innocent all along. Are you going to watch the opening for Case 4? I will do a little break and I will crush Case 4 on this stream too. I hope. Why didn't you say that in your testimony then? Huh? Oh, well, guess I'll be heading off then. See you around. Wait up, detective. He just ran off. Just kiss already. Maggie, why are you being so hard on him? He busted his butt off for you. It's thanks to him that we got the medication bottle. That wasn't even of any use. But only because Mr. Wright used it so cleverly. Detective Gumshoe was just running around in circles. Poor guy. Looks like she still isn't ready to forgive him. Can't you put a good word for him, Nick? Yeah, Maya's right. I should help Gumshoe out. It's clear in needs. Maggie, I know Detective Gumshoe. Gumshoe's been really worried about you through all this time. I wanted to believe that. I wanted to believe this, sir. How much longer are you streaming? I guess for 3 more hours then. Until Case 4 is done. Hey, I'm only live for 3 hours. It's okay. Yeah. But on that first day of the trial, I heard that Case 4 is as long as the first the first case of the game. So I assume I have 3 hours. So it's good. But on the first day, on that first day of the trial, he practically gave the judge a free pass to lock me up. He didn't have any choice, Maggie. He's a detective. He has to report the facts. He doubted me. That's why. He thought I might have done it. I guess I give her the lunchbox. Yeah, that he cares about him. Yeah, I guess the lunchbox is I have this for some ungodly reason. Here you are, a present to celebrate your freedom. That's a present from Detective Gumshoe, made with a ton of love. Oh, and we see this now? He said you lost weight, and he was worried about you. I actually really like weenies, you know. Did you guys hear that? I'm pretty hungry myself, you know. Yeah, the trial dragged on a bit today, didn't it? Is it okay if I eat this now? Nom 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 nom. Yeah! Chuck, weenies, 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 weenies. Maya's cheering her on. So, how is it, Maggie? It's really good. So the case of phony versus genuine comes to an end. The false allegations surrounding Maggie all have been cleared up. And who knows, maybe a whole new chapter of her life is about to start. She loves his weenies? Yeah, I guess. She ate all his weenies. It's better now. Episode 3, Recipe for Turnabout. The end. Nice. A new episode. Oh no. He's back. He is back. Case 3-4. Maggie's in trouble again. Oh no, Edgy is back. So, as I promised, I will not torture you with more of me for now, because I do a little break to stretch myself and use the gentleman's room. So maybe you should use your room of your choice too, and I will be right back.